Kwon Boa, commonly stylized and known by her stage name Boa, which is a backronym for Beat of Angel, is a South Korean singer and actress active in South Korea, Japan, and the United States. She is referred to as the Queen of Korean Pop. Boa was born and raised in Gyeonggi-do, South Korea. She was discovered by SM Entertainment talent agents when she accompanied her older brother to a talent search. In 2000, after 2 years of training, she released ID. Peace Be, her debut Korean album. 2 years later, she released her debut Japanese album, Listen to My Heart, becoming the first Korean pop star to break through in Japan following the fall of barriers that had restricted the import and export of entertainment between the countries since the end of World War II. On October 14, 2008, Boa debuted in the United States with the single Eat You Up, and released her debut English-language album, Boa on March 17, 2009. Boa's multilingual skills have contributed to her commercial success throughout East Asia. She is the only foreign artist to have 3 albums selling more than 1 million copies in Japan and is one of only 2 artists to have 6 consecutive #1 studio albums on the Oricon charts since her debut, the other being Ayumi Hamasaki. Boa has sold over 10 million records throughout her career, including albums, singles, and DVDs. Career, 2000 to 2002, debut and Japanese expansion. At age 11, Boa accompanied her older brother to an SM Entertainment talent search. Though her brother was the one who auditioned as a break dancer, SM talent scouts instead took notice of Boa and offered her a contract on the same night as the auditions. Her parents initially opposed the notion of Boa's leaving school to enter the entertainment business but eventually consented at her older brother's persuasion. She has said that her early influence as a singer was Seo Taiji. Boa underwent 2 years of training, and at the age of 13 released her debut album ID. Peace Be in South Korea on August 25, 2000. The album was moderately successful. It entered the top 10 of the South Korean charts and sold around 156,000 units. Meanwhile, her Korean record label, SM Entertainment, made arrangements with Japanese label Avex Trax to launch her music career in Japan. She was forced to quit school to prepare, and in early 2001, Boa released her first mini-album, Don't Start Now. It sold around 90,000 units. After its release, she took a hiatus from the Korean music industry to focus on the Japanese market, at which time she worked to solidify her skills in Japanese. Boa began her Japanese music career singing at the Avex-owned club Fa. In 2001, she released her debut Japanese single, a Japanese version of the song, ID. Peace Be. The single reached number 20 on the Oricon chart and was followed by Amazing Kiss, Kimokai Wasu Tawaru, and Listen to My Heart. The last became the singer's first single to enter the Oricon's top 5. After the September 11, 2001 attacks, Boa recorded the charity single The Meaning of Peace with Kumi Koda as part of Avex's Song Nation project to raise funds for charity. From 2001 to 2007, Boa hosted Beat It Boa's World, a radio program on the Japan FM network. Her debut Japanese album, Listen to My Heart, was released on March 13, 2002. The album was a breakthrough in Boa's career. It became an RIAJ-certified million seller and debuted atop the Oricon, the first album by a Korean artist to do so. A single, Every Heart, Mina no Kimokai, was released on the same day as the album. After the release of Listen to My Heart, Boa released her second Korean studio album, #1, a month later. The album sold around 544,000 units and became the 4th best-selling record of the year in South Korea. Jumping Into the World and the Japanese single Don't Start Now were released a month later on the same day. Boa then released her 7th single Valenti. It peaked at the number 2 position on the Oricon chart. Boa released 2 more singles, Kiski/#1, and Jewel Song/Beside You, Boku Oyobuko, both which also peaked at the number 3 position. At the end of the year, Boa released her second Korean mini-album Miracle, 2003–2005, commercial success. Boa's second Japanese studio album, Valenti, became her best-selling album. with over 1,249,000 copies sold. In support of the album, Boa launched Boa First Live Tour Valenti, her first Japanese concert tour. Later that year, she released 2 Korean albums, Atlantis Princess and the mini-album Shine We Are. The former was the 5th best-selling South Korean record of the year with around 345,000 units sold. The latter sold around 58,000 units. Her third Japanese studio album, Love and Honesty, was a musical change in direction. It contained a rock dance song and harder R&B. Though the album failed to match Valenti in sales, it topped the Oricon chart for 2 weeks and became RIAJ certified triple platinum. In support of the album, Boa held a tour, Live Concert Tour 2004, Love and Honesty. In contrast with First Live Tour, which emphasized exotic Asian design, the Love and Honesty Tour had an outer space, sci-fi theme. Among the props were a 3-story high spaceship and the robot Asimo. The tour, which started in Saitama and ended in Yokohama, spanned 9 performances and attracted approximately 105,000 attendants. Her first compilation album, Best of Seoul, however, sold over 1 million copies, making Boa the first non-Japanese Asian singer to have 2 million selling albums in Japan. Boa reinvented her image on her 4th Korean album, My Name. She left the cute and youthful style that had characterized previous years and presented herself as sexy and sultry. The album was the beginning of a foray into the Chinese market and contained 2 songs sung in Mandarin Chinese. The sales of Boa's Korean albums began to decline. The album sold 191,000 units and became the 11th best-selling South Korean album of the year. In September 2004, Boa instigated controversy in Japan when she donated a copyright 50 million to a memorial project for Korean independence activist and nationalist An Young-jun. Her 5th Korean album, Girls on Top, continued her image change. The album portrayed the singer as more mature and self-confident, and was a declaration of war on male chauvinism. The bohemian look of the cover photograph represented freedom and depth, while music videos and album photographs that portrayed Boa in traditional Korean dress brought the idea of Korean womanhood into her music. The album also continued Boa's foray into the Chinese market and, like the previous album, contained Mandarin Chinese songs. The album sold less than the previous album. It was the 14th best-selling record of the year in South Korea with 113,000 units sold. 2006–2008, continued success in Japan. In 2006, Boa was mostly inactive in South Korea as she focused her attention on Japan. Her 4th Japanese studio album, Outgrow, was released on February 15, 2006. The album reached the #1 spot on the Oricon chart for its first week of release, making it her 4th consecutive original Japanese album to do so. With 220,000 copies sold, it became her lowest-selling first-week debut for a studio album at that point. Do the Motion, the first single from the album, reached the top spot, making her the 4th non-Japanese Asian to have a #1 single on the Oricon charts. Merry Christmas from Boa, the album's last single, was the singer's first digital single. In May, Boa renewed her contract with SM Entertainment until 2012. At the time it was noted that she had a shareholding in the company of 100,000. She also voiced Heather the Possum in the Korean and Japanese version of the animated film Over the Hedge. On September 21, 2006, she released her first digital single in Korea, a Korean version of Key of Heart. In support of Outgrow, Boa launched a special ZEP tour, BOA The Live, on September 29, 2006. The tour, which lasted until October 29, started from Nagoya and contained 12 shows, 2 in each of the following cities: Nagoya, Fukuoka, Osaka, Tokyo, Sendai, and Sapporo. She staged her first Christmas concert on December 7, 2006. Boa's 5th Japanese studio album, Made in 20, continued her transition from a teenage girl image to a more mature image. The album, which contained R&B and dance songs as well as ballads, debuted at the top of the weekly Oricon charts, making the album her 6th in a row to do so. She began using a personal computer for composing one of the songs. On March 31, 2007, she launched a nationwide tour of Japan in support of the album. The tour, which sold about 70,000 tickets, was, according to Boa, the biggest concert she had ever given. 2 tracks from the singles of Made in 20 were used as theme songs. Your Color, from the single Naniro no Ashita, Brand New Beat / Your Color, was used as the ending theme song for the Japanese release of the Xbox 360 game 99 Nights. Key of Heart, from the single Key of Heart / Dodge, was the ending theme for the Japanese release of the movie Over the Hedge. She also released an English version of Key of Heart, which was only available on the first press edition of the single. Later in 2007, Nicole signed Boa, Kshaya, Tableau, and jazz pianist Jin Bora onto Any Band, a band created specifically to promote Nicole. The band released only one single, Any Band. With her 6th Japanese album, The Face, Boa took more creative control over her music. At this time, Boa was influenced by electro-pop. Additionally, Boa included happy spring songs, a guitar-driven groovy dance song, and ballads. Lyrically, Boa focused mainly on love, though Be With You was about a person's relationship with his dog. The album debuted at the top of the weekly Oricon charts, making Boa one of only 2 artists in Japan to have 6 consecutive studio albums top the Oricon weekly charts. On June 9, 2008, Boa and 9 other artists from around the world recorded an English cover of Wee Wee's Dedication of Love. Produced by Roald Hoffman and Brian Allen, the single was used to raise funds for victims of the Sichuan earthquake. But due to a tight schedule, Boa was pulled back from this project. Korean jewelry brand Rami also released Rami by Boa, a line of jewelry designed by the singer herself. 2008 to Euro 2010, foray into America and return to Japanese market. On September 2, 2008, it was announced that Boa would make her American debut under a new subsidiary label, SM Entertainment USA. With the album, Boa hoped to become a world-renowned entertainer in the vein of Janet Jackson. Boa's debut American single Eat You Up, produced by Thomas Troelsen, was released online on October 21, 2008. A physical promotional CD containing dance remixes of Eat You Up was released. Eat You Up placed at number 9 on Billboard's Hot Dance Club Play chart. The remix of Eat You Up featuring rapper Flo Rida was slated for release in late November and leaked onto the internet in December. Boa performed Eat You Up as well as other songs at YouTube's Tokyo Live concert, and performed in New York City on December 3, 2008, as well as the Jingle Ball at the Anaheim Honda Center on December 6, 2008. She also performed the song Look Who's Talking at the event. Boa released a AAA side single in Japan on February 18, 2009, Ian Believe in Love. On the same day, the Revex single Believe in Love was released, featuring vocals by Boa. Boa's self-titled English album was released in the US on March 17 and featured tracks by producers Bloodshy and Avant as well as a duet with Sean Garrett. Her 2nd Japanese compilation album, Best and USA was released on March 18 tying together a compilation of recent hits in Japan with her English-language debut. Boa stated that it has always been my dream to debut in America, and was tutored English in LA, but found the language tougher to learn than Japanese. She lived in West Beverly Hills but admitted finding it tough to make friends. Boa headlined as a performer for the San Francisco Pride Festival on June 28, 2009 alongside Solang Knowles and the Clicks. She debuted her next single Energetic, performing it for the first time in public. She also performed Eat You Up, and I Did It for Love. On August 31, SM USA released Boa Deluxe, a repackaged version of her debut English album. The album contained 2 new tracks and the radio edit version of Energetic. With her US career struggling to gain traction, Boa returned to the Japanese market to release a new single entitled Bump Bump, which features label-mate Verbal from M-Flow. Boa then released Momoritai, White Wishes, which was used as the theme song to the video game Tales of Graces, and held a Christmas concert in December. Her 7th Japanese album, Identity was released on February 10, 2010, but only charted at number 4, selling 37,606 copies in its first week. With little promotion from her label, it ended her run of 6 consecutive number 1 albums, suggesting that it would be impossible for her to sustain her career in 3 territories simultaneously. 2010 Euro 2012, Hurricane Venus, Hollywood film, Only One, and first Korean solo concert. On March 1, 2010, SM Entertainment announced that Boa would, on her 10th debut anniversary, release a first full-length Korean album after 5 years. On July 21, 2010, AVEX released the Woo Weekend single, the lead song of which was used to promote Disney on Ice's 25th anniversary in Japan. Boa's official Korean website announced on July 23, 2010 that her comeback 6th Korean album would be entitled Hurricane Venus. Hurricane Venus was released on August 5, 2010 and debuted at number 1, where it stayed for 2 weeks. Game charted at number 6. A repackaged version of the album with 2 new songs under the name of Copy and Paste was released in September, 2010. The album won a Bonsang Award from the Golden Disc Awards in 2010, making it the first time in her career to receive the award. On December 6, 2010, AVEX released a digital single, I See Me, for a commercial that promoted Audio-Technica headphones in Japan. In October Boa represented Korea and performed at the 7th Asia Song Festival, organized by Korea Foundation for International Culture Exchange, at the Seoul Olympic Stadium. Boa will have her Hollywood movie debut in the dance film Make Your Move 3D, directed by Dwayne Adler and produced by Robert Colt. Boa will play a character called Aya, while Derek Huff will play the male lead of Donnie. Aya and Donnie fall in love, even though their families are enemies on the dance scene. Filming began in spring in New York City and Toronto, Canada. On October 2011, Boa announced on her Twitter page that she will be releasing a new Japanese single, Many people asking me when I'm gonna release my next single in Japan. I'm preparing my single now. So you'll be able to listen to it soon. Then on October 6 she wrote, heading to the set for my new music video. A she, gamma PVAE registered trademark a 1/2 plus or minus I 1/4 I 1/4 EA, AA, A florin 1/4 a florin 3/4, I 1/4 hour florin 1/4 hour E 1/4 a florin. It was later on announced by AVEX that she will be releasing her single titled Milestone on December 7, 2011. The music video premiered on November 21 through MTV Japan. The single ranked at number 4 on the Oricon Weekly Music DVD charts. In December, she joined the judging panel on SBSA Euro unregistered trademark SK Popstar, which consists of Yang Yeon-suk from YG Entertainment and Park Jin-young from JYP Entertainment. She represents SM Entertainment. On March 2, 2012, SM Entertainment confirmed that Boa will be making a 2012 comeback. It was eventually verified that Boa's 2012 comeback will be Korean. On March 16, 2012, it was announced that Boa will be releasing a Korean single the next day titled One Dream as the theme song for SBSK Popstar. The song will also feature Chinese Key and Super Junior M's Henry as the rappers. This will be the first Korean song by Boa since Copy and Paste in 2010. On July 12, 2012, it was confirmed that Boa would release her 7th Korean album, Only One, on July 25. Boa also wrote and composed the title track. The album was released digitally on July 22. After the album was released, the title track, Only One, rose to number 1 on all Korean music charts and achieved an all-kill. The album is her best-selling Korean album so far with a combination of digital and physical sales. The dance version music video of Only One was released on July 22, 2012. The drama version, which featured actor Yoo In, was released on July 25, 2012. Later on, the music video for Boa's follow-up track, The Shadow, was released August 18, 2012. On August 7, 2012, Boa stated in a fan meeting that she will be releasing the Japanese version of Only One in winter 2013 and will be personally translating the lyrics from Korean to Japanese by herself. On October 16, 2012, Boa released a digital single Look-In featuring the Kiat for Gyeonggi-do Euro unregistered trademark SA Euro Premium Unique Lifestyle Euro unregistered trademark campaign. On December 10, 2012, Avex Entertainment confirmed that Boa will be releasing a new Japanese single on February 27, 2013. The single will include the Japanese versions of her Korean songs Only One, and The Shadow from her 7th Korean album Only One. There will be a new PV for the Japanese version of Only One. The next day, it was confirmed that Boa will hold her first solo concert in Korea entitled Boa Special Live 2013 Here I Am on January 26, 2013 at the Olympic Hall. All tickets were sold out immediately upon going on sale. 2013 A Euro Present, First Korean Tour, Japanese Comeback, and Acting. On January 23, 2013. It was announced that Boa would release a new digital single titled Gyeonggi-do, a song she both wrote and composed, on January 28, 2013, in commemoration of her first concert tour in South Korea. The music video for Gyeonggi-do premiered through SM Entertainment's YouTube channel on January 28. On April 11, 2013, it was confirmed that Boa had 3 more solo concerts added to Boa Special Live 2013. The concerts were on May 18 in Taiwan, at the Taiwan University Gymnasium, on May 25 in Daegu, South Korea, at the EXCO Convention Center, and on June 1, in Busan, South Korea at KBS Hall. Boa's 33rd Japanese single, Tale of Hope, was released on June 26, 2013, containing the theme song for the Japanese drama Hakui no Nameda. The single featured a song titled Baby You, which is the Japanese version of her Korean song Gyeonggi-do, and English version of Tale of Hope. A preview of the Tale of Hope music video premiered on June 7, 2013 at 5:50 a.m. JST via Mezamashi TV. A short version of the PV was released the same day, as it was uploaded by Avex Trax's official YouTube channel later that day. On May 27, 2013, Boa released an OST, Between Heaven and Hell, for the new KBS drama Shark. It is a minor waltz ballad song, produced by popular hitmaker Kim Young-suk. The song served as the main theme song of the drama. On June 24, 2013, the Dutch trailer for Boa's Hollywood film, Make Your Move 3D, was revealed through YouTube, stating that the film would finally be released in the Netherlands on July 24, 2013. 2 days later, the official trailer for the US version of the film was revealed also through YouTube. It was eventually announced at KCON 2013 that the United States release of the movie would be on March 28, 2014. On July 16, 2013, it was announced that Boa will be cast as the main female lead in the drama Expect a Date. It will be part of KBS drama special series which airs every Wednesday at 11:15 p.m. Korean Standard Time. Boa starred in the 2-episode drama with actor Choi Daniel. Production ended mid-August and the drama premiered in Korea on September 11. On July 31, 2013, Boa released a new song titled Action, serving as 2013 Gwangju Design Biennale's theme song. Boa and composer Yoo Young-jin collaborated to write the song, which is an electronic dance track that inspires listeners to work with passion to find their own color. On August 23, 2013, Seoul office announced that Boa would be releasing her 34th Japanese single titled Message Call My Name. The single released on October 23, 2013. In October, she participated in MBC's Infinity Challenge. She was paired up Lee Sang Gil to create a collaboration single. Their team and song name was GAB, which stands for Gil and Boa. On November 2, they performed their new song at the 2013 Infinity Challenge Song Festival. GAB was also released via digital download through various Korean music sites. In December, Boa was confirmed to be starring in her first Korean film titled Big Match. Boa will play the role of mysterious woman named Soo Kyung who walks around with a poker face. The movie began filming the same month and will be released in theaters in late 2014. Also in December 2013, her official website confirmed that she will be releasing a new Japanese single in 2014 titled Shout It Out. The single was originally scheduled to be released on February 26, but due to an unknown reason, the release date was pushed back to March 5. On January 21, Avex uploaded the full music video for Shout It Out on their official YouTube channel. Shout It Out will be available in 3 versions including a CD only, and 2 CD plus DVD options. In January 2014, staff of The Law of Pleasures announced that Boa will make a cameo appearance in the movie. She will play the neighbor of one of the main characters of the movie. The movie will be released on February 13, 2014. In May 2014, Avex Trax announced that Boa will be releasing her 37th Japanese single, Miseum Chasing, on July 23, 2014, which was also used as the 15th opening song for the anime, Fairy Tail. Her website also updated that she will be hosting a Japanese tour called Boa Live Tour 2014 WHO's Back in September. The tour consists of 5 concerts total, in 4 cities. The tour will begin on September 6 in Tokyo at the NHK Hall, and continue on the 7th in Tokyo at the same venue, on the 14th in Aki Nagoya, on the 20th in Osaka, and end in Fukuoka on the 23rd. This will be Boa's first Japanese tour in 4 years. Throughout various interviews, Boa has confirmed of a new Japanese album coming out in 2014, in which her tour in September will promote. On July 10, Avex Trax confirmed that Boa's 8th Japanese studio album, WHO's Back, will be released on September 3. Image and artistry. Boa lists hip-hop as her main musical influence, though she also enjoys R&B. Her favorite musicians are Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, and Ne-Yo. As a result, much of Boa's music is either dance pop or R&B. Because she also sings ballads, she is often compared to Japanese singers Amy Hamasaki and Hikaru Utada. Her debut album, ID. Peace Be, contained urban pop, slickly produced ballads, and upbeat dance tunes. As her career went on, she began experimenting with different styles. Valenti contained mostly ballads. Love and Honesty was an experiment with harder R&B and rock music. Because the composition and writing of Boa's songs is handled mostly by her staff, Boa has been criticized as being a manufactured pop star. In response to such criticism, Boa said that if one person were to force their own will on something, then things that should have gone right could easily go wrong, and that she is not all that unhappy with the expression that she is a manufactured star. In a way, that is true. Because SM Entertainment created the environment and all the surrounding conditions, she is able to be successful in the way she is now. Though her earlier releases were marked by a cute and youthful style, Boa began to present a more mature image starting from the album My Name. In a Talk Asia interview, Anjali Rao noted that some felt that My Name marked the beginning of Boa's decline in popularity and asked if the public would always see the singer as Little Baby Boa. Boa replied, "So while I apologize to those people who still want the baby Boa, in fact, what can I do? I just keep growing up. I can't stop that from happening." Boa has collaborated with high-profile artists. Among the Japanese artists she has performed with are the hip-hop group M-Flow, pop singer Kumi Koda, and house DJ Mondo Grosso. She has performed with Western artists. The song Flying Without Wings from her album Next World was a collaboration with Irish band Westlife covering the original song. The Bratz single Show Me What You Got was performed with Howie D of the American band Backstreet Boys. She also worked with Akon, singing the song Beautiful, which was featured on the Japanese release of his 3rd album, Freedom. Other artists she has collaborated with are Soul Lugged Out, Dabo, Verbal, Ra-D, Simo, TVXQ, Yutaka Furukawa, and Crystal K. American rock band Weezer covered Mary Kurai on the Japanese version of their album Weezer. Boa is a top artist in South Korea and Japan. Her popularity in the latter is attributed to her linguistic skills, and a Japanese interest in Korean pop culture started in the early 2000s when the two countries began promoting cultural exchanges. Boa's popularity extends throughout East Asia. She has fans in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Singapore. She has expressed plans to enter a global market. In June 2006, the music video of her Korean song My Name became the first music video ever shown on MTV-K, an MTV music channel directed at Korean Americans. Because of her wide appeal, Boa has appeared in advertisements for many brands. Among the brands she has promoted are Olympus, Lotte, Nike, Laura Copyright AL, Japanese cosmetic company Kosa Copyright, Skechers, Audio-Technica, GM Daewoo and L'Occitane. 6 of her songs have been used as themes. Every Heart, Mina no Kimoko was used as the ending theme for the anime Inuyasha. Beside You, Boku Oyoboko was used as the opening theme for the anime Monkey Typhoon. Key of Heart was the theme song for the Japanese release of Over the Hedge. Your Color was the theme song of the video game 99 Nights. Memoritai, White Wishes was the theme song of the video game Tales of Graces and Tale of Hope was used as the theme for the Japanese drama Hakui no Nameda. Her widespread popularity has also made her a cultural ambassador. She has represented South Korea in inter-Asian musical events and has appeared in an Oxford University Press published English-language textbook. Discography. Tours, Korea, 2013, Special Live 2013, Here I Am, Special Live 2013, Here I Am is Boa's first solo concert in South Korea. It was held on January 26 and 27 at the Olympic Hall in Seoul's Olympic Park. Originally there was only one date for the concert, but after the tickets for the first day sold out rapidly, SM Entertainment decided to add another date. On April 11, 2013, 3 more concerts were added to the tour, 1 in Taiwan and 2 in South Korea. Awards. Filmography, TV series, film, see also, Contemporary culture of South Korea, Korean wave, J-pop, footnotes. References. External links, Boa Euro official US website, Boa Euro official Korean website, Boa Euro official Japanese website, Boa on Facebook, Boa on Twitter, Boa USA's channel on YouTube, Boa at All Music, Boa at MTV.